lot. There we go. What up, YouTubes? My YouTube peoples. Welcome to the Naga News. What's cracking, people? They haven't notified. Oh, it says there's 9 people in here. I don't see anybody on the screen yet. Where y'all at? They haven't let you in the room yet. What's going on to the people? There they go. Who's that? King Tony. What up, Faith Ford? Super Micah. What up? Oh, now y'all coming in fast as hell. Alchematician book. I think that's what it said. James Kirk. What up? Spread the wealth. Isaac Preston. What up? Immortal Aces. Black God. A Saku. Bo Craw. Black and Gifted. What's poppin'? Nicole. Buster Brown. What's cracking? Michael Brown. Ren. Melanie C. What up, Mel? DJ Sherm. What up? Preston Johnson. King J. What is that? Africa Forever. Christopher Perkins. What's poppin', man? Antonio Bryant. Roger Ragland. What's cracking? Who was that hit me up? Roger Ragland. Appreciate you, brother. Always hooking me up. What's that? Thinking Throwed Podcast. There you go. Yo, check them out. Thinking Throwed Podcast. Check them out. What up? Antonio Mercado. What up, Black Magic? What is that? Right Just? I think Right Just 111. DD, what's cracking? View Star. What's cracking? Carol Williams. Ernest George. Joseph Lopez. Leo Fire. King Goddess Bunny Gemini, what's poppin'? Brian Bennett. Neon Black. Now they coming. Now y'all come. Man, that's a whole lot of y'all in here now. Shit. It was like nobody in here for like a minute. Then now everybody's in here. What's cracking, people? Y'all all right? Again, on this Saturn's Day. That's how we have to do it. Saturn. I'm heavily ruled by Saturn, y'all, so I picked Saturn to do these. Who was that? Carol Williams, thank you. Thank you, everybody who hit that super chat. So, let's get into it real quick. You know I got some announcements. Know Your Rights Foundation. If you ordered any of the Police Stop Law package or the books, sent the stuff out yesterday. So, but it's really stormy and rainy in California right now. So, who was that? What up, Miss Jeannie? So I sent that out. It's really rainy in California right now, so stuff may be moving kind of slow. Like they on some storm flood watch. California on flood watch, which is crazy. How the fuck did California get on flood watch? But so just be patient. Your stuff is coming. It's out yesterday, so just be patient. Anybody else you want to order the Police Stop Law package, make sure you go to knowyourrightsfoundation.org. Pick up any of the tools that we have that teaching your rights, any of the flashcards. These are the law and government flashcards, 1 and 2. And Police Stop flashcards, 1 and 2. Make sure y'all get these. These are the Cliff Notes. This is what a lot of people jump on, is teach you the stuff real quick. You can just pull it out your pocket, have it in your car. Police officer sees that, you know, or you got your books, Know Your Rights Manual, teach you everything you need to know, as well as the public official bonds. This is how you get back at police when they violate your rights. You get all that in that Police Stop Law package. The whole Police Stop Law package, you get that, plus a deck of flashcards, and as well, you get the constitutional rights cards and notices. Make sure you go to realnoggers.com if you want the Police Stop Law package for free. Just so you guys know, that's worth $200. The free one that you get with the Melanin book. So if you order the Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy, you get the Police Stop Law package for free. So just so you guys know, I know you probably don't understand, the value of that is $200. If you order the book, you get $200 for free, worth of value for free. All right, so make sure you get over to realnoggers.com if you want the Police Stop Law package for free. But if you just want to support Know Your Rights Foundation, just get over to knowyourrightsfoundation.org and order any of these on its own by itself. All right, and make sure these are killing the game. I can't tell you, we're getting so many stories back about people who pull this out at police stops, and the police officer looks at these cars and be like, "All right, well, have a nice day." They don't even want to deal with it. They don't even want to deal with it. Some ask, "Where did you get the card? You know, what's the organization and stuff like that." Some people ask that stuff, but right now, people, Popo don't want to see this stuff. They don't want to see you disorganized. So make sure y'all get in the game and get what you need to get in order to do what you need to do. All right. So, and then y'all know we got Weed Juice. My boy Timmy Tight Top. He made it on time today, y'all. He didn't come in as soon as I was starting the live stream. He came on time today. So make sure y'all get out there and reward him for that. My two lovely juices. These are my two. This is my yin and yang juices right here. This is my Ashford and Simpson. This is my Ebony and Ivory. This is my two balanced ones right here. All right. So this is surprisingly sweet. So he says this is for your skin. This is good for your skin, good hydration. He wanted me to tell you guys that. So both of these are very good for hydration. This is cool water. So the surprisingly sweet, grapefruit, cantaloupe, and pear, delicious, my number one. And my number two, the cool water is watermelon, ginger, and mint. They neck and neck, 1 and 1, really. So get out there and make sure y'all hook up Timmy Tight Top. Also, this is on the healthy side of the game. This is the kale metabolizer. They got the celery, parsley, kale, apple, lime, and ginger, and cayenne pepper. This is give you a little kick as it's going down. Make sure it's flushing you out. And then this is the other super sweet one right here. This is Be Fearless. This is apple, pear, lemon, ginger, and cayenne. This is off the chain. This is delicious. This was my number one until he made the surprisingly sweet. I used to get this every week from him. So this is off the chain. So make sure y'all get over there. That's weedjuice.com. That's OUIjuice.com. Those things are very cold. He just made those. I'm sorry, you guys. It's very, very cold. So make sure you get to weedjuice.com, OUIjuice.com. Make sure y'all support the brother. Hook my boy Timmy Tight Top up. He said y'all been supporting, so make sure y'all keep that up and get on over there. And also, make sure you gotta check out my homie Dom from Jazzmatics, the group Jazzmatics. They had the song with John B back in the day, but he got his own thing. It's called This Is Jazzmatics. So make sure you get out and hook up the homie Dom. And Jazzmatics is spelled, or the last part, Matix, M-A-T-I-X. All right, make sure you can punch it up on YouTube as well. Make sure y'all check out my man. He got the smooth grooves. He got the boo 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 boo. He got the golden voice. Dummy Dom, I love you, man. I see you, Dummy Dom. Get out there and hook my boy Dom up. Appreciate that. Make sure y'all hook everybody up who are promoting front, because I don't do many promotions, and I turn down a lot of promotions, like from major brands like JBL speakers and Netflix. They tried to get me to do promotions, and I don't turn them down. And I use JBL. I got like 5 JBL speakers in here. And I use them, but I turn down the promotion. They try to give me a lot of money to do that, but I don't do that because I don't promote corporations. I don't promote corporate bands like that. So when I promote somebody on here, make sure y'all get out there and support, because this is what we need, all right? Because I could be showing y'all JBL and Netflix. I could be cutting in a Netflix commercial right now. Click. Netflix commercial could be spliced in right now, but I'm not doing that. So make sure y'all get out there and hook the peoples up, please. Appreciate y'all. All right, man. So let's get into this. Your boy Fauci. Your boy Fauci. Foul cheesy, as y'all some people call them. Conceptual elixirs is always hooking me up. If you got a business, make sure y'all put your business in the chat, Conceptual Elixirs, so they can patronize your brother. Make sure y'all get out there and check out my brother if he has a website. Please hook it up. So your boy Fauci came out. You already heard. Some of you heard. So we'll just go over it a little bit. So Fauci came out that when the study was coming out about, or the information was coming out about the Boogie V, for y'all know the Boogie V, the COVID-19. So for the newer viewers, the COVID-19, when that came out, when it was supposed to hit the information that it came from China, China, it's the China virus, China. Oh, who was this? Appreciate you. Roger Rose, appreciate you, brother. Now we all to go, baby. So when China came out, uh, Trump was pushing it. He was like, yeah, it's the China virus. Fuck them. They called it the Kung flu and all the rest of this shit. And they were like, no, 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 it can't possibly be. So last week, we talked about how they said, yeah, it came out of China, right? The Energy Department and Department of Energy, not the Energy Department, but Department of Energy, that's the federal Department of Energy, and the FBI, they came out and said, yeah, highly likely that it came from the Wu-Tang. And not my boys, the Wu-Tang, because Wu-Tang, you off the chain. American Saga, Wu-Tang American Saga, best show on TV right now. But the Wu-Tang lab in China, so they said it came from there, right? And so what Fauci did, because remember, if you remember how it came out, first of all, this was a pandeezy that was guided by China, pretty much. Everything in it was guided by China, especially the lockdowns. Because when he was on the stand, you know, they sued Fauci. These different states, Missouri and Louisiana, sued Fauci, so he had to get on the stand, and they asked him where he got the idea for the lockdowns. And then he had to come out and say, well, he sent his deputy over to China and he asked the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, he was like, well, how y'all dealing with it? He was like, shit, I'm locking everybody in the house, nigga. You see, this shit work. Hey, get your ass back in the house, bitch ass nigga. Hey, get that. Don't worry about it. We got it under control. We got it under control. Go back and tell Fauci, lock them bitch ass Americans in the house. It worked for us. Shit, I don't know. And he was like, oh shit, okay, well, Fauci, according to, yeah, it worked. Okay, according to Xi Jinping, he said, lock them bitch ass niggas in the house. I agree. He got on the phone like, oh shit, lock him in the house. So that's how he got the idea to lock everybody in the house, is that he literally it was a quick suggestion from the Chinese president, because he was doing it in China. He said, well, do what I'm doing. Lock these bitch ass niggas in the house. That's how we got locked down. No science, nothing, none of that, just a quick decision, and they ruined the world. They locked everybody in the house on a whim from China, right? So then, you know, it was coming out that it was the China, you know, it was coming from China and all that. And they was calling it the Kung flu, whatever, the China virus. And when that happened, Fauci paid for a study. This nigga is foul, man. He is truly foul cheesy. Seriously. This nigga is so terrible. So this fool paid for a study to show, let me say, so he paid for a study to disprove the lab leak theory. So he, out of the NIH pocket, he pays for a study to disprove the lab leak theory when Trump was coming out and said, yeah, this shit came from China. These bitch ass niggas, they trying to fuck us up, man. That's what I think. China, y'all, China. And Fauci was like, get on it. And he paid for a study to show that it didn't come from the lab leak. So then, when they asked about the lab leak theory, he brought out the study he paid for, basically meaning he engineered, and was like, oh, look, right here, according to this study, by this company that I have nothing to do with whatsoever, nothing at all. They said, it didn't come from China. And that ain't me. That's them. Go talk to them. And everybody believed that shit. Everybody was like, oh, well, shit, I guess it didn't. Fauci said he got a study. He got the receipts. He got a reputable company. So apparently, so everybody was like, okay, fuck, Trump is full of shit. Everybody get Trump the fuck out of here. He full of shit. He don't know what the hell he talking about. And so this nigga Fauci, while he knew, excuse me, goddamn. When this nigga, again, we all know that he engineered, he got patents, he got royalties. This nigga is so involved in this shit, is crazy. And now this nigga is doing somersaults. He got a whole gymnastic floor routine when they ask him questions on the stand. He flipping and flopping and turning and doing half pikes and somersaults. And this nigga look better than what's old girl right now that's out there, the chick that's been killing everything, the little chocolate girl. He killing her. He killing her floor exercise with the way he flipping and jumping and over questions. But it's all coming out, and so basically he's taking his stance is, I don't recall. This is more of the stance, because he's about to get charged. They have to throw somebody under the bus. It's too much coming out right now, so they're letting a lot of people get thrown under the bus. Like they can't save everyone. Like, hey nigga, we're taking on water, guys. We're taking on water. Who's gonna be the first to jump in the ocean, huh? Huh? Come on, buddy. Come on, somebody. Just be the one. Nope. They just left looking around like that. So nobody's gonna volunteer? Nope. All right, Jim. Hey, Jim. Hey, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy, but you can swim, right? These niggas is throwing everybody off the boat. Get your ass out of here. So, but they're not letting go of the one world the Pandisi order. This is why they have to throw some people under the bus to make it seem like they didn't do this on purpose. So this is the narrative that even if there were, dire repercussions from doing this, from implementing this, this plan so fast, we did it because we were working against time. We were working against time. We had to get it implemented. People were dying. They were dying all over the world, and it was up to us to save them. It was only us. Only us. So we just had to cut some corners. I mean, you can understand that, right? We had to cut a few corners. We didn't test. Did we test to see if it worked? I said we had to cut corners. Who cares a fuck if it works? We just had to get it out there. And so that's what these niggas are coming out with, and they had to do that. So since they mashed on that, and they're taking the stance that we didn't know it was going to hurt people, we just had to rush it because people were dying. So now they got to throw a few people under the bus, who allowed that to happen. Some people on the low totem pole, because they're still coming out with this WHO shit, or with more cupcake information, because now they're trying to, in zoos, they're cupcaking animals in the zoos. They just created a new mRNA cupcake for animals in the zoo. So they said, I'm like, wait a minute. They said that the animals are tested positive for COVID. I mean, goddamn, for the boogie V. I'm talking bad. I'm not even doing my code lingo today. But the animals at the zoo are testing positive for the boogie V. The animals, orangutans and everybody, all of them, they all tested positive. Yo, bro, LY, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. All the animals in the zoos, right? Again, this is just to keep this in your mind. They put out a big bulletin. They did a whole news story. They had the zoo guy down in the studio to explain why they're cupcaking animals and how because they had to ask the question, like, well, how did you know that they had I know how we take tests, but how did you did you swab a goddamn rat's mouth? And they were like, we did some variations of, the test. We did the PCR. We did some variations, some things like that. But, and it came up positive. Wait a minute. You did a PCR test on the goddamn... On a lizard, nigga? You swabbed a lizard, nigga? Okay. These niggas is crazy out here, man. They are not letting go of the one world Pandeezy order. They're not letting go of it. So y'all better figure that shit out. Because the WHO, WH, the WHO, they're still working. They're working right now. They're phasing. They're working on phasing in this Pandeezy one world order. This new one world order that'll be ran by the the WHO. They're phasing it in certain parts, but they have all of it written out and pieced together. But they have to bring it together slowly and implement it softly, because if they just did it all at once, they'd be like, oh, hell, people in the countries would be like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that. So they got to do it piece over here, piece over there, piece over here. So now they're pushing for digital IDs. The WHO wants a world digital Pandeezy ID. And it will have, what did it say? I think it's like your threat level on so it's all in your phone or whatever, and it has your threat level. And I think it's color coded for your threat levels and all this and that. And according to your threat level, you won't be letting the country, if your threat level, if you're at DEFCON 2, you at the orange DEFCON 2, your shit start going off. Buddy. Y'all seen The Last of Us when they got the little the viral testers, the electronic viral testers. They stick that shit and the shit go red. Y'all seen that shit? As soon as they be right there waiting for the gun. They be waiting with the gun to look. They be looking at this shit like, nigga, this shit better turn green real soon, nigga. Or y'all about to bust your ass with a cap. So that's how they gonna be doing you, like The Last of Us in the countries. They gonna be stop your ass. They gonna take a look at your goddamn phone. Hey, this motherfucker better turn green real quick. You sick, nigga? So that's the WHO. They're working on that part of the plan. We already told you about the treaty. So they're still mashing on the treaty, though. The treaty is still getting mashed on. So all of the ID will take effect when the treaty goes into effect. So they're implementing a lot of different phases, and then all of these things that they're telling you about. Remember, because they got to tell you, they can't do it without telling you, because then that's the karmic buildup. So in order to do that, in order to stave off the karma, they got to tell you. And how, man, 500 some people in here, only 270, like, come on, man. Y'all already know the protocol when you come to my crib. Take your shoes off at the door. Let me tell you something. Damn plumber came here the other day to fix goddamn leak in the ceiling from the apartment upstairs. That nigga, I ain't even had to tell him. He saw my whole setup in the house. That nigga took his shoes off right at the door. Took his goddamn shoes off right at the door. I was like, hey, I'm impressed, my nigga. You already know how I get down in this crib. So if the damn plumber knew, he ain't never met me in his life. Come on, y'all. Stop playing. Hit the goddamn like button. Take your shoes off when you come in my crib. Hit the like button. Who was that? Preston Davis. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. You got that thumbs? There you go. Be like Preston Davis. Hit that thumbs up. All right. So then, like I said, so that's popping off. So then there was a hearing. They having Boogie V hearings, y'all. I'm telling you, this all coming out, but y'all ain't hearing it. Y'all ain't watching C-SPAN and shit. Y'all ain't probably watching C-SPAN. They having Twitter hearings. They having Boogie V hearings. They having all kind of hearings around. They having all kind of shit going on right now. Y'all need to be up on the game. So they had a hearing about another Boogie V hearing, and they had the former Cat, the head of the Cat. His name is former director Robert Redfield. He testified, and this nigga said, now y'all go get a clip, because the clip is going on around everywhere. I don't know if you guys seen the clip or not, but Robert Redfield, the former director of the Cat Dog Cat, he was the head. He was the head right before old girl came in. The new head right now, the lady, she came in 2020. Coincidence, but a coincidence. Soon as the Pandeezy hit, she came in. She came in with Biden actually. So she came in with Biden right as soon as the Pandeezy hit. What a coincidence, right? So the dude who she replaced, Robert Redfield, this nigga said, "Yep, America paid for the Boogie V." Nigga said America paid for Boogie V research through the NIH at the Wu-Tang lab. This the former head of the Cat Dog Cat. The C, do the letter, take the letters. C. The former head said, "Yep, America, America paid for Boogie V research through the NIH, the State Department." This is who the people paid for it. The NIH, State Department, what do you say? The AID something like something, allergy, infectious disease something, right? That was another department. And the DOD. Why is the Department of Defense paying for Boogie V research in China? The Department of Defense, y'all. That's the Department of Defense. DOD as the Department of Defense. Why are they paying for the Boogie V research? And that's from the Cat Dog Cat, the head of the former head of the Cat Dog Cat. So they can keep talking this bullshit all they want. We didn't know. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of you. Knew every damn thing. So it's not leaving, y'all. Just be prepared. Just make sure y'all understand this Boogie V world order is not going away. They are all in. I told you last week, they're all in. They got all the chips, and they put all the chips in on this thing. They're not gonna win because there's too much information getting out, but that ain't gonna stop them from trying to implement every phase of it that they had planned. So just make sure you get your ass out of the way. Make sure y'all get your cupcake exemption cards. Break these packs, make them cats off. Let them know what your rights are. So then I know you guys seen the footage that Tucker Carlson released. Man, it's some major shit going on right now in politics. There's some crazy stuff going on. There's a major war going on, I'm telling you, between these globalists and nationalists. The people who just want America to stay the way America has been since, the beginning, or since the beginning of their corporation, America, because, again, that keeps the status quo, which is Caucasian people in power. They're pushing for that. They want that. They want the status quo. They don't want shit to change. So in the new world order, in the globalization world order, everything changes. You got diversity, equity, inclusion. You got ESG, environmental, social governance, which is all of this. You got to flip men, and you got to put more women and more trans people and more niggas, and you got to put all these people in there, right? So that takes away whose position. That takes away the Caucasian man's position. So they see that coming. So they're fighting tooth and nail to prevent this globalization shit. So on the nationalist side, or their team, Tucker Carlson, he put out the video of the January 6th that they've been talking about is the most egregious, the most heinous crime in the history of America, the biggest crime against American sovereignty ever in the history. We've never had such an attack on our sovereignty. Oh my God! How do we move on from here? I don't even know how do we move on. These niggas are crazy as shit. Then you seen the goddamn video? So it's funny, in the video, this is the video footage was released by Kevin McCarthy, the new Speaker of the House, right? That they didn't even want to get in there. They didn't even want him in there. But surprise, this nigga in there and he fucking up all kind of shit. So shout out to him. So he took the video, gave it to Tucker Carlson, 40,000 hours. He broke it all down, found the footage of the dude, the main dude, who they postered as the face of this shit, the dude with the horns. And they called this dude all kind of names. And he was, this terrorist, the domestic terrorist, and this and that. And this nigga's a shaman. He's a spiritual dude. He prays for people. He loves people. This nigga's a shaman, literally a shaman. This nigga's a spiritual cat. He prayed for the goddamn police officers in the Capitol building. But if you've seen the footage, the police officers were walking this nigga around the Capitol building. They gave this nigga a tour. They basically gave this nigga a full tour of the Capitol building. Hey, come on, my nigga. Right this way, my nigga. Come on over here. Hey, in this room, this is where they talk their bullshit before they go out and then they do the votes. You wanna check it out? You wanna check it out? Okay, like no. Oh shit, hey, the door's locked in here, but this is the room they do that in. Let me take you over here. I think this room is open. We're gonna go over. They were checking rooms and shit to try to let him in. The room was locked. They said, come on, let's go check something else. Giving this nigga a tour. They said he was armed. This nigga had a flag. He had a flag and a bag of something else in his other hand. And this nigga was walking around like this. This nigga was carrying like... How the hell he gonna try to hurt somebody with a flag in one hand and a bag in the other hand? He just walking around like this. They are so foolish. First of all, let me tell you, this is evil. That they could send somebody to jail like that knowing that this nigga didn't do anything but just walk around the goddamn Capitol building. But you can ruin this man's life and all these people's lives. Somebody committed suicide from this shit because they couldn't take it. The backlash was so crazy, this person committed suicide. Nigga took himself out the game. And they'll act like, no, nothing to see here. That's not our fault. We didn't do anything. Other than act like these people committed the worst crime in the history of America. And then you see the footage, and these niggas they walk there. They're not even exploring the damn Capitol building. These niggas are actually on the tour inside the damn, with the ropes. And there's a rope. So if you never been to the Capitol building before, let me tell y'all something. That shit is open to the public. Just to cut all this bullshit out. There is no insurrection. There is no trespassing the Capitol building. It's a public building. Open to the public every day, all day. The tour started at 7 in the morning. I went there. I didn't fucking have to ask nobody to go in there. Walk right into the Capitol building. If you want the tour, you got to go to the desk and then you put your name on the if you want to see the whole thing. Then if you want to walk around the whole thing, then you have to get on the tour. So that's putting your name on the list at the desk. So that's the way you take the tour. And then when you take the tour, you do exactly what they were doing. They were inside. They had the cameras out like doing this. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, that's such history right there. They was just doing that. Walking inside the ropes and shit. Maintaining order, chilling. That dude was getting escorted all around the goddamn Capitol building, and they said he's the worst criminal in the history of all of America. That nigga who prayed for the goddamn officers who walked him around the building. He walked through, at some point, he walked through 8 officers. One was dressed like the SWAT cop. He had the helmet on, he had the SWAT gear, he had the AR, whatever. He had all of that. They didn't even touch him. They didn't even say nothing to him. Said not one word to the nigga. Just sitting there, they were just talking like, yeah, nigga, what you gonna do for lunch? I don't know, nigga. I'm about to get out and go get me a couple of burgers. Where you going? You going to the Indian place? Nigga, how was the Indian place? They were talking, they talking like that. What's for lunch? Where they going for lunch? This nigga walked right through him. Oh, excuse me, my nigga. Let you go. There you go. Roger Rose, appreciate you. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi is a fucking evil ass witch. She is. I hate that she's in the Aries clan. We kicked her out the Aries clan. She not in there. There's a couple people. There's a few people we done kicked out the Aries clan. You know, that's Nancy Pelosi, Little Nas X. Them niggas got to go. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his bitch ass is out. It's a few niggas. That nigga Shang-Chi, the nigga from Shang-Chi, he gone. It's a few Aries we got to kick out the group. Everybody ain't allowed in the order. And Nancy Pelosi is one of them bitches. But so that's what happened with the Capitol building. It's open to the public. You cannot trespass, but he must have a dumbass lawyer because the lawyer didn't get that footage. They didn't give that footage to the lawyer to defend the man in court. They had to. That's you can FOIA request that. They didn't, and so I don't know if they held it back, saying it was a matter of national security while they were holding some footage back, which is some bullshit. All that is public footage. That's public record, as well. If you're using that record against my client or against the person in litigation, then it's called discovery. You have to show that. You have to show all that stuff. They held all that footage back. That nigga would have been out on jail right now. But as it turns out, or as it stands now, he got 4 years. This nigga got 4 years. They call it sedition and all kind of that. And I mean, crazy shit. This nigga just walked in because they let him. They, hey, here you go, my nigga. And they got him under sedition and trying to overthrow the government and all this and that type of shit. Man, these people are foul. They're evil as fuck because they know this nigga didn't do that. They know they are railroading innocent people. And they don't give a shit because these niggas were for Trump. So that show you who's running your damn country, as if y'all didn't know and shit. Fuck them niggas. So, moving right along. Did y'all see your boy Colin Kaepernick? He back in the news. Where that nigga been? Where you been, Afro? Got your little quick piece of change and bounced on up out of here, didn't you? Nigga got that little money from the NFL. Nigga, you ain't heard nothing from this nigga. He had Know Your Rights camps and shit he was traveling to every month. Was sponsored by Nike and shit, up on the stage and shit, doing that, taking pictures with niggas like, hey, know your rights, baby. And as soon as this nigga get this deal, or he get the settlement with the NFL, you don't see nothing. Excuse me, little nigga, I'm know your rights. Yeah, know your rights. Good. They're very good, very good. Get the fuck out of here, little nigga. This nigga, he ain't got his little money and he done bounced. You ain't seen nothing. Now he's back in the news. Because he said that his Caucasian parents are racist. And now the Caucasian community has jumped all over this shit. They done jumped all over this shit. But this nigga said his Caucasian parents are racist, right? Because they told him that his cornrows, he shouldn't wear his cornrows, especially like, I guess, I forgot what it was, like job interviews or something like that, whatever, because it makes him look like, or people may think that he was a thug, that he was a gangster or a thug or whatever, or some shit like that. So basically they took the cornrows to mean that he was a gangster, he's a thug. Whereas in the hood, just because you wear cornrows don't mean you a gangster at all. That you just may woke up one day and don't want to deal with your hair for about a couple of weeks. Or however long nigga keep cornrows in, you may not want to deal with your hair for that long and just put it in cornrows. That's how it happens in the hood a lot of times. Like, oh shit, nigga, just braid that shit up. So his parents, he called his parents racist. So they're jumping on him saying, how dare you, you're turning on you're ingrate, they adopted you, they took care of you, they're your parents. How dare you talk against your parents, your mother and father, honor thy mother and father, and blah, 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 and all this and that shit, right? Said 2 to 3 weeks. But they don't want to do my hair for about 2 to 3 weeks. Put that shit in cornrow. So he's there. So the Caucasian people, especially the Caucasian people on the right, the right-wing Caucasian people. Again, I told you I'm in a lot of different bubbles around here. So in the Caucasian the right wing bubble, they are jumping on this shit because again, now all of a sudden, racism is important to Caucasian people. It's all important. Oh, racism. Right, you're racist. How dare you? How dare you? You're so racist, man. This is how dare you utter those words? Wait a minute, nigga. Wait a minute, nigga. We been saying that shit the whole goddamn time. Now all of a sudden, when Caucasian people want to get flipped in movies, now you want to be called race. Now you on your racism. It's all racist, man. It's all racist. Let's come together. Let's come together, man. What? Nigga, when we was talking about racism and we shall overcome all this and that shit, nigga, you was sitting in your house, looking on the TV, watching the TV, eating your popcorn like, those are resilient niggers. I mean, yeah, man. Fight for your rights, man. Racism. I'll be there with you in a second. These niggas just sat on their couch eating popcorn and shit while the fucking racism fight was going on. But now, when people talking shit against Caucasian people, they go, oh my God, where'd this racism come from? So he said they're racist. They called him racist. They own him, nigga. They said he's racist for calling his parents racist. Like they just throw around the word racist, right? But what is racism? So what is the difference between racism, or is Colin Kaepernick racist, or his assessment of his parents? Let me say that. So is his assessment of his parents, is it racist or are they prejudiced? Because you say, well, you can't be racist if you adopted a black child. Well, a lot of these Caucasian people be adopting these melanated kids for the virtue signal, just so they can say, I adopted a little nigger the other day. It's amazing. I suggest you get you a couple. He's been great for us. He's been great. Hey, Jamal, come here, Jamal. Hey, do a couple of flips for him. Hey, show him your breakdown. Do a little twerk. There you go, twerk, Jamal. That's what them niggas be doing. You an entertainment piece for a lot of these Caucasians who adopt these kids. For some, no, they really do. They really do love these kids. They really do. So I'm gonna tell you, because I had one of my clients was one of them. I had a client who, and she was one of the virtue signal who gradually moved on into the she's my daughter phase. But she adopted a little African girl. So one of my clients, I would go over there, and she was a rich lawyer lady, Caucasian lawyer, and I would go over there, and she had her little African daughter in there, and let me tell you, she treated her African daughter like a queen. Though that African daughter run the whole house. She had everything she wanted. She ran the house. It was a pool. I mean, nice crib. Everything she wanted, that little African girl got. So shout out to you. You hit the jackpot, little African girl. Making the little white lady feel guilty. The Caucasian lady feel guilty. But she treated her like her daughter. She really thought, eventually, to me, when she first adopted her, it was because it was all the rage. It's all the rage. I'm gonna get me a nigger. You're gonna get you a nigger? I'm gonna get me an African. I'm gonna get me. You're gonna get you two Africans? Okay, hey, I see you. So she went and did that because of that. But then eventually, obviously, she fell in love with her, and that became her daughter. But what's the difference between prejudice and racism and being racist? So racist, the suffix ist means you adhere to a certain doctrine or philosophy or idea, right? Meaning, like, if I think my people are better than you, or shit like that. That's a certain idea or doctrine. I'm attached to that doctrine. That's what excuse me. Or what's like anything like with an ist, like a journalist. They adhere to, that was a bad one, but anything with an ist, they're for that subject, whatever that is, right? They adhere to that subject. But the term prejudice just means I have a preconceived notion about who you are before I meet you. So when he was saying that his parents were racist, he really meant that they were prejudiced. right? Because most Caucasian people, and this is the thing with Caucasians and melanated people. When a lot of melanated people out here and you call these Caucasian people racist, and again, I've spent a whole lot of time around them, training them. They not racist. They are prejudiced though. See, they don't believe, they don't necessarily believe that Caucasian people are better. And that's also one form of racism. They don't believe that Caucasian people are better, but they do think, and I'm not saying that in every case. Some cases they actually do believe that. But what they do think, they have a preconceived notion about how society has reported melanated people to people who aren't in that community, right? And so they have a preconceived notion about that. Whereas for melanated people and Caucasian people, we don't necessarily, we're prejudiced too, because we see Caucasian people played out on TV, but we see them, they're the ruling class. So we get a lot more of them fed to us, a lot more of their culture fed to us than they do of our culture fed to them. And whenever the information is fed to them, it's, little Jamal robbed the store, or he's a crack addict, or or Shaniqua, she's saying Shaniqua's on the corner selling some whatever. That's the information they get fed a lot of times. So that's the mentality that they have, because they're in their bubbles. They be in their little Caucasian city bubbles, and they don't ever venture outside of that shit. So they can never get another idea about you, because they don't really ever meet you. So that's what it is. They have a preconceived notion about who you are. So that's what Colin Kaepernick's parents pretty much were, not racist. Now, they done jumped, like I said, these Caucasian motherfuckers, they done jumped all on it because, it's they can push back against people who've been calling them racist for a long time. Soon as if they say something about melanated people or anything that has to do with race, they automatically get called racist. So they're pushing back and saying, no, you're the racist. It's their time. They think it's their turn to take the ball and say, no, you're the racist, man. You're the racist. It's not me, it's you. And so, again, going back to the preconceived notion. But what that does is, them being, the cultures being pumped to each other the way they do. Now, they get basically just entertainment from our side. That's what they get pumped into their world, is the entertainment. So that's all they see of us. But we see everything from their side. We see the politics, the entertainment, the fuckery, everything. So we get a pretty well-rounded idea of Caucasian people, because they're the ruling class and they're shown every single day, right? And so it's funny, like I said, that when this whole racism thing is popping up, it's only because they're trying to drive a wedge, because they know if you two niggas are fighting each other, if Caucasian people and melanated people are busy fighting each other, then you ain't gonna be busy trying to stop them. Their plan that's in turmoil right now, that one world order plan that's in turmoil. It's really messed up. The plan is really messed up. But if I can keep you occupied for the whole time, then I don't really have to worry about how fucked up my plan is, because you're never going to come and thwart the plan, because you're too busy caught up in the bullshit that I created for you. This racism bullshit and all this and that. And so it was so funny. Last week I said, who would you invite to the cookout? I put that out. I said, who's on your cookout list? And some of y'all is funny as hell, thinking that, first off, y'all think that I'm racist against anybody in the world. Y'all can get the fuck out of here. I'm not racist against anybody, and I'm not gonna feed your racism by you coming here. If you racist and you think y'all can bounce, I ain't never about that. We are all one. We are all one in the universe. You ought to understand that. You're all brothers and sisters. You're all family. And so you just need to find out your position where that is and do what you need to do. But for you to be racist against somebody else is ridiculous, because again, you are all one. So for you to feel hate and for you to feel hatred against somebody else, that's really you putting out energy against yourself. All that energy is going to do is work against you. That's one of the law of karmic rules. Energy out, energy back. So the fact, if you putting that energy out into the universe, all you're going to get is that back. So last week I put out who's coming to the cookout, and some people were we're tripping because I was talking about some Caucasian people that I fuck with. Yeah, I fuck with Caucasian people just like you do. A lot of y'all niggas fuck with, y'all won't say the shit, but a lot of people did. Y'all put on who's coming to your cookout last week, and I saw that, and I left some people off my list. There's a couple people I left off my list. One of the people I left off my list was George Carlin. George Carlin is off the chain where he was before they killed him. That Caucasian motherfucker, he told everything. That Caucasian dude told every goddamn thing. He didn't give a damn. So shout out to George Carlin. He didn't care. He jumped on the stage and he told everything about the system, how fucked up it was, no matter what they did to him. So shout out to George Carlin. Hall and Oates. I don't know how I forgot Hall and Oates. Goddamn. I don't know how I forgot Hall and Oates. Goddamn. I love me some Hall and Oates. Aries. I think one of the niggas is Aries, so I fuck with my people. That's my people right there. But Hall and Oates. Y'all know about Hall and Oates. I ain't got to tell y'all. God dang it. And then the last one I left off my list was, this is just Jason Williams. White Chocolate. Basketball player who won the championship with Shaq. That dude is a nigga. You ever see this fool talk? He talks just like a nigga. He sound like a nigga. You know he hung around niggas his whole life. I mean, Jason Williams, White Chocolate, is a nigga with a white skin on. So that was the other people that I left off my list. And if I pissed you off some more, I don't give a goddamn. Caucasian people are cool. I've met them. It's some goddamn cool Caucasian people. It's some fucked up Caucasian people. Just like it's some cool niggas and it's some fucked up niggas. You need to get out there and deal with them all and figure out who's who and then work with the ones who are here to help you and then kick the ass of the ones who ain't. Just like anything else. Use discernment. But I don't deal with racism shit. I don't deal with that bullshit. So y'all want that energy out of me, y'all can kick rocks. You ain't gonna never get that energy out of me. We gods, which is way more powerful than your skin tone. You understand? And if you stuck on that bullshit, salam alaikum. So what they really do is they try to play the racism game, right? So the racism game is this: the black men. So on the black team, let's talk about the black team. The black team's mission is basically is to admit. So the black team basically, you want to be the first to make the other side think you were the most perpetrated against in history. That's a lot of melanated people. That's our goal. You're so right. We were 400 years of racism and of slavery, and we never come out. And you need to give us. You owe us for and all this and that, right? That's their spiel, right? That's part of it. That's the melanated team on the racist game. We got the racist game. You got two teams, right? So the melanated team, that's part of their game plan, is to make the other side feel that they were the most perpetrated against in history, right? With the slavery narrative. Then they want to create a massive amount of guilt that you can suck out of white people. Or Caucasian people. They're trying to create this guilt that in turn Caucasian people feel guilty and that they can suck out of their body, right? But then they understand this guilt prevents them from kicking you. So this guilt prevents them from kicking you off their porch, while feeding you scraps from the trash can. You think, all right, if I can get them to feel guilty, then they're going to give me something from their table. They're not. They're going to just feed you scraps from the trash can. This game, there's no winning in the racist game, right? There's no winning in that game, because ultimately melanated people started racism first. So for you to try to play that game, you're going to lose that game. And then on the Caucasian side, they want to make all Aboriginal people believe they are visitors and tenants of their own land, thereby stripping them of all their rights. That's part of their narrative. That's the Caucasian side. They want to strip you of all your rights to your land. You weren't here first, melanated Caucasian Aboriginal nigger. We were here first. It's our land. It's ours. The Duke has been sitting on this exchange since it was founded. It's our exchange. If y'all know Trading Places, that's the thing from Trading Places. It's ours. And so then they want to make melanated people believe that Caucasians created everything in the world, so that you remain dependent on them. That's part of their game plan. You want nigga, you know we created all of this. This is all of this. It's all ours. We did it all. Black guy, melanated nigger, whatever you want to call yourself, pro-black melanated person. We created all this. You're using our shit. Nah, nigga, we created most of this technology, but that's the game. That's what they try to get you to believe. And then they make themselves constant victims, of crime by other so-called races in order to avoid the discussion of what caused the crime in the first place. So that you understand, melanated people, Caucasian people are constant victims. Every time you see them niggas turn on the TV, they want to increase. That's why the military the military budget is like $800 billion a year, because these niggas the fear. They fear. Everybody wants to kill us. So we have to protect ourselves against everyone who wants to kill us. So bring that down to the lower level in the streets. They think most races are out there to commit crimes against them. So they're the constant victims, right? But they don't want to talk about the system that they created that breeds the environment for the crime. The lack of resources, the institutional racism and all the rest of that shit that creates this environment. They don't want to talk about that shit, right? So then, but they'll never tell you that they were the first slaves in the world. See, that's part of their plan as well. They don't want to tell you that they were the first slaves in the world and in America. And so I was talking about slavery last week, and somebody who probably just started watching me was talking about that I don't know nothing about slavery, when I've done multiple documentaries on slavery. 40 Acres and a Fool. If you haven't seen the documentary 40 Acres and a Fool, check that one out. That was the one I did on breaking down Aboriginals and slavery, the history of slavery. But just so you guys know, yes, melanated people started slavery in America. What I meant by that was legal slavery. Before slavery was legal, they wouldn't allow you to keep a person forever in perpetuity, as they put in contracts today. You couldn't keep a person for that long. It was only a certain amount of time that you had to sign an indentured contract for. Until Anthony Johnson sued for his slave, his indentured servant, his freed indentured servant. He wanted him back because he needed the nigga, and sued in court to get the nigga, and got him. And it was ruled that he was his property, and so now he got to keep him as his property for life, which is incidentally, for all of you who use the term chattel slavery. That's what chattel slavery, it just means movable property. Property that I can take from one piece of land to another, like a slave. So if I can take my slave from one piece of land to another, he's my property. That's excuse me. That's what that means. That's what chattel means, like cattle, like moving cattle, herding cattle across the land. If the slave stays on the land, then the slave is a serf. He belongs to the land. So if I come and buy your house and you in 3 or 4 acres around that the house comes with, and there's a caretaker of the land, a serf, then I get the caretaker as well. So that's the difference. But again, y'all have to go and learn about this whole goddamn bullshit slavery game, this racist game. Just to put it all out on the goddamn table, niggas, you enslaved some motherfuckers. Caucasian people, you enslaved some niggas. It's a wash. It's just melanated people right now, you the last to lose. Melanated, so it's fresh in your mind. You the last loser. Anybody played any goddamn game, video game, sports game, anytime, when you the last to lose, that's when it hurt the most. You just the last niggas to lose. So does that mean that, you out the game? Hell no. That means, nigga, go back, do your like you seen the Shaolin movies? Go back, practice your goddamn skills, your style, and come back and then whoop ass again. That's how that shit works. You can't be whining, nigga, that you got your ass whooped when you started the game. That shit don't work. So again, stop the fuckery, stop the bullshit, or don't get caught up in it. I know most of y'all don't get caught up in this bullshit, but for other people who y'all know who are getting caught up in this bullshit game that they're trying to perpetuate against you, It's all bullshit. Again, for y'all to go out and I'm gonna put these books up again for people who don't understand. Again, this is black slave owners. I keep telling y'all, 30% of freed melanated slaves owned. 30% of freed melanated people owned slaves. Go look that up. They were white and they were slaves. This is the story about white slavery in America. How white Caucasian people were the first slaves in America. That's what this is about. White cargo talks about how they got jacked from the Europe and sent over here by the British governments and all those governments over there. White slave African masters. How we used to roll over there as Moors and snatch them Caucasian people up and do what we did. Hey, sorry, Caucasians. But that's how we get. That was the first history right there. Again, and then you already know, nature knows no color lines, and ancient and modern Britons, which breaks down our history over in the Europe, showing that we ruled everything, we did everything first. They learned all the shit from us. So stop getting caught up in the bullshit, please. And again, for people who want to reclaim your status as an Aboriginal, because that's what this really is about. They're trying to keep you from understanding. So go to patreon.com/realnagas and you can sign up for the Aboriginal for the status classes. And this is what you get. Or this is what you'll be working for. This is my paperwork right here. So you'll be getting, these are 4 different documents, so you guys know. So these are 4 different documents that you guys, if you're gonna change your status, there's literally 4 different documents. Oops. These are really 5. Actually 5, excuse me. So these are 5 different documents that you have to, and this is what I did. So if you go to the patreon.com, you get, if you sign up to the highest levels of the Patreon, I give you this paperwork for free. But this is a affidavit of non-subject status, affidavit of your right to travel, affidavit of common law jurisdiction, and affidavit of truth and status, letting the government or the corporation know who you actually are. You have to fill out all these different things in order to separate yourself from these corporations who put so many clamps down on you. So again, that's part of the game. That's part of this racist game that they want to play with you and keep you in this mentality that you're these slaves and they brought you over here and they started slavery and all this and that. Don't you understand? That's a game to keep you away from your land. It's your land. You can reclaim that shit. You can reclaim it with your status, or get together, go out and acquire the land, and then once you change your status, you slap this on it. You change your status with this, and then you slap the status on your new land, and they can't take your land. That's how that works. See? You got to go out and learn new kung fu. You got your ass whooped before. Okay, they got the land now. Okay, well, how do I get it back? Well, go up, link up with a bunch of cats, go out and acquire the land the regular way. You got to go out and buy it. It's cheap, whatever. But then once you acquire the land, you change your status, and then you can slap your status on the land as an Aboriginal, and they can't take it back. So if y'all want to learn how to do that, that's patreon.com/realnagas, and you know, you getting your information so that you can get your status back. All right, y'all. Moving right along. And really quick, just so you guys know, that paperwork, you would have to separate yourselves from these corporations. So they'll give you an example, like the IRS. The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, is not the Internal Revenue Service. The actual name is the Internal Revenue Tax and Audit Service. They're a corporation that's registered in Delaware. So you have to know how to go at them as that entity, not the government entity that they've led you to believe. And as well, who's supposed to be over, or the IRS is supposed to be a department of what? The Treasury. The Treasury is also a corporation called the U.S. Treasury Inc. that's also registered in Delaware. These are corporations. So if you understand how to go at corporations through contract law, you understand how to separate yourself from this shit, and you're not obligated or subject to this stuff. But until you know how to contract, meaning learning law and understand how to separate yourself from that shit, you're gonna be in it. So that's what I offer at patreon.com for people who've been asking me about it. So that's why I came out and did this. So I had to do it because I never really mentioned it because, again, I'm just out here doing it. But if you want to change your status, I do offer that, patreon.com/realnagas. And if you sign up to the highest levels, that paperwork I just showed you, I give it to you for free. All right, so next one. Did you see there was a study that showed fried chicken, damn, KFC, Popeyes, damn it, Popeyes, oh, Popeyes got the better fried chicken, I think, the crispy chicken. KFC original recipe, I think is better than anybody else, but Popeyes, crispy. But it says fried chicken makes you overly aggressive, homicidal in some cases. So now, why is there so many fried chicken places in the hood? Anybody? So this study started in 1961. This is when they started this study. 1961. They started it in 5 different countries. Guess who did the study? Your boy Fauci. NIH. That boy everywhere, ain't he? Your boy Fauci at the NIH, they commissioned a study on fatty acids, like omega-3s, omega-6s, and shit like that, right? So they found that omega-3s actually lower aggression, they keep you calm, and omega-6s, so basically when you cook these, they become more carcinogenic, and the omega-6 fatty acids, when you cook these or you process it, it turns it into what did it say, linoleic or something like that, linoleic acids, and then those acids make people more aggressive. So they did the study again from 1960 to 2000. It was a 40-year study. So they found that in that time, as the what they call it, as the omega-6 or linoleic acid increased, that type of, basically, so just so y'all know, this is like canola oil, soybean oil, what's the other ones? What do they say? Canola, corn, soy, and soybean oils, right? So it said with the rise of those in those countries, like there was a 3 times rise in those countries of consumption of those oils. Excuse me. In the same time, there was an exact correlation. An exact rise. In the 3-time rise in homicides in those countries. So basically, they linked it to this shit makes the acid in some people, it makes them super aggressive, almost to the point, or to not almost, but to the point they become homicidal. This is a goddamn study. Go look this shit up. And I was like, oh goddamn. So omega-3s, good. This is like your salmon, olive oils, stuff like that. Even olive oil is omega-6s though, I think. But so you want to consume those the best oil for you to consume is avocado oil. So they got omega-6s, they got omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-7s, and omega-9s. Those are the fatty acids that they have. So they showed that when you cook those, and again, most chicken is cooked in canola oil around the world. No matter where you go, if you get fried chicken, that chicken is probably going to be 90% chance it's going to be cooked in canola oil, which again, boom, it was on the list. And then you see this, again, this is a 40-year study. Around 1980, they're 1980, 81, they're 20 years in. They're 20 years into the study. You don't think they knew that in 1980? When somebody tell me, when did most of the fried chicken places start popping up in the hood? Right around then. Now, again, I was around in the 80s, so I remember them popping up, a bunch of them in the 80s. That's my time. Now, I wasn't old enough to go to no chicken places in the 70s by myself, but I don't know. People who remember that time, did it pop up in the 70s or 80s? When was it? Was it in the 60s? Who knows? Is it correlating? Because so many fried chicken places in the hood, and then you see a bunch of homicides, us knocking each other off constantly. What's the number one food, though, in the hood? That you had to pick the number one food that melanated people eat in the hood, what would you say it is? What would you say? Just throw it out there. Y'all know damn well it's gonna be some chicken. That nigga Dave Chappelle, he got one of the most famous jokes about it, about going to the South and walking into the place, and he said, he said, the chicken. The white dude said, the chicken. He said, I was flabbergasted. He said, because how did he know that I wanted some chicken? He said, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Everybody in here knew when you walked in here that you was going to get some chicken. It's no secret that chickens and blacks are quite fond of one another. Dave Chappelle, most famous goddamn joke. So, again, the chicken places, we know where the chicken place is at. Now, having said that, Caucasian people love chicken too, goddammit. They eat chicken just as much as niggas. I've been around them. I've seen it. I done seen it. They love chicken just as much as niggas, even more. Fried chicken. So, but, holy crap. They are trying to kill niggas off in the hood. They trying to make you kill each other. Really what that shit is. They pump all that bullshit in the hood. So again, this is also not fried chicken though. This is processed oils. So just like you got your potato chips, this stuff in your potato chips and all the junk food that you eat, there's a lot of these oils, these fatty acids and oils in these foods. And then boom, niggas is trying to take each other out at the game. Like, bitch ass nigga, what you say? I just said, what up, my nigga? Oh, shit, nigga, you better say it nicer next time, cuz. You coming at me with that nigga, how you been shit, nigga? I'll slap shit out you, nigga. That's like niggas be, hey, nigga, gotta calm down, nigga. I was just saying, what's popping? Like, damn, nigga. Niggas be on the edge. So remember, avocado oil, if you guys are going to cook, use avocado oil, peoples. All right, moving right along. So we talk about that the digital ID that the WHO is trying to implement. But there's a digital ID coming out in the South Wales, Australia. They're already implementing it. It's already out. Digital ID is coming. So they're trying to push. So you have it again in South of Wales, Canada. So Trudeau was just talking about how he got different cities, or not cities, but states, I guess they would call them like states in Canada, to sign on to the digital ID. And so he's doing this piece by piece, one by one. He's getting everybody to sign on for their city or state or town or wherever they call them in Canada. Y'all tell me. But so Canada, Wales, and then India. They have it in India. The digital, not the digital ID. So the digital, we'll get to that in a minute. That's gonna be something else. But in Australia, excuse me, not Australia, but UK. My bad. So in the UK, they're also implementing the digital ID in the UK on a preliminary basis. And so they talked about how you would have control over it. no one else could get your ID. It's only in your phone. It's only for your personal use. All this different shit. They were trying to act like, was the best parts of having it. You should have it because, man, it's going to be great. It's going to be great for you. We'll be able to track you everywhere, but don't worry about that. It's going to be great for you. Like, nigga, no. So, again, this is digital prison. They're trying to lock us up in a digital prison. That's what's coming. Because the Australia, they basically, and this is remember they're fighting against us. So also in Australia, while they're releasing the digital, the digital ID, there's an army video for Australia. I don't know if y'all seen this, but the Australian army is fighting, they're recruiting. So it's a recruiting video. So they're trying to get people to join the Australian army. The recruiting video, though, they're showing is the army fighting against civilians. They're fighting like, nigga, we might. So it's them. The video is them in riots. So they're in riot gear and stuff, and they're in their shields, and they're holding off citizens in riots and stuff like that. Because in Australia, they've been not rioting, but protesting. It's protesters, not riots, but protesters. So they're there's the police force against the protesters, and they got the shields up, and people. This is in the training video. They got people training, trying to bust through the shields because over in Australia they were protesting against the Boogie V hardcore. So that had to happen. All the police officers and stuff had to go against the people protesting over there in Australia. So now they say, we need niggas to be trained to fight these crazy ass citizens. So now they're recruiting people just specifically to fight citizens because they know they're going to pull some more bullshit on you. So we know we're going to pull some more bullshit on them. So we need to get the stable. We got enough? We got enough? Okay. So, nigga, that's what Australia is full of shit. And so, as they try to keep, again, this is the coming of the digital prison that they're trying to lock us in. In Nigeria, I don't know if you saw, they did riot over in Nigeria because in the president or the WEF, the government is part of the WEF. They're working with the WEF. Nigeria, I love y'all, man, but y'all be on some stuff sometime. But and so they went up because they discontinued the money, the debt note, the reserve note in Nigeria. So again, when something happens in somewhere in part of the world like that, make sure you watch out for that because it's only a certain amount of time. They try to implement it over here, but we know they're going to try to change the currency. But in Nigeria, they just stopped the money. So that'd be like somebody one day the government came on, or you looked at the news and they said your money don't work no more. Your 50s, your 100s, your $1 bills, your 5s, your 10s. They said, you know what? Hey, we have a new money coming out. Don't worry, we got a new money coming out. We created a new money because that's what they did. They created a new note. They created a new design note. So they said, oh, we're gonna kill the old notes. Well, everybody's used to that. They're passing, doing business. Then you got drug dealers, nigga, shipping off in these notes and shit. You got hookers in the hotels, nigga, putting the note, doing that, putting the notes in their shit. And they like, wait a minute, nigga, this ain't worth nothing no more. Oh, nigga, they went over there. They rioted. They tried to burn shit down. They went crazy over in Nigeria. I don't know if y'all seen them videos. They went crazy over there to the point where they said, "Hey, sorry guys, it was a joke. We were joking. We were joking. We're gonna bring back the old money. We're gonna bring it back. You can have your old money. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. Just don't kill us." The main thing they're trying to do is implement the CBDC over there. That's what they really don't want. They stopped the money, that reserve note, to cancel that so they can introduce an intermediate reserve note before they introduce the central banking digital currency. That's what they're really trying to implement in Nigeria, which is coming everywhere. They're doing it again in the UK. In India, they already have it. They already have it in India. In the markets in India, somebody was going around to the market and they have the QR code on the products, the different products, and they went and they clicked on the QR code, and it digital. There was a digital voice that said how many rupees what it was. So it was like flowers or some shit they were around. So they said this is this many rupees, and then boom, the digital currency. They hit the lady hit the thing, bam, and there was a dude. Excuse me, the dude hit the thing, bam, and the money went. They already got it over in India. So how long do you think before they they try to do that shit over here? It's already in the works. They already got a somebody investigating it. Not Bush, but Biden. He already has a team of people investigating the CBDC over here. So make sure y'all keep money. Keep the reserve notes. That's what we know. It's because that's what happened when they called in for the reserve notes over in Nigeria. People was like, "Fuck you, nigga. I'm still they were still doing this. They didn't give a damn. So it was messing up the system with both notes in the economy, right? So then people try to go to the bank and try to get their old notes, and then they cut those off, and that's when people start going crazy. So they're trying to do that over in America. They're trying to introduce the CBDC over here. Don't let them do it. As long as you stick to the old means, they can't implement the new means. So constantly keep cash on you. Keep cash. Damn it. Small denominations, keep you some cash. Even though it says reserve debt note and all that, and we know in the conscious world that the Federal Reserve is bullshit and it's a debt note and it doesn't have a value. All this, all right, whatever, bullshit that. In reality, it's a tangible means of exchange that you already know, that has already worked for the last 100 years. So if some shit shut down, we're used to this. We're used to handing each other these little things, and that would work more so than anything else if there was like a shutdown of the system. So, and then what happened though, in Nigeria, the Supreme Court overruled the new money. It was so crazy. They took it to the court, and the Supreme Court in Nigeria overruled the new debt notes, reserve notes. So they said, "No, nigga, get this shit out of here. Y'all nigga, they about to burn this city down, nigga. Nigga, these niggas is crazy around here. Nigga, fuck that. Y'all better get this shit better. Y'all get it. When you get it right, then you can come back and we'll implement this shit. But right now, nigga, they about to burn down this whole they about to burn down the whole shit." So that's why the Supreme Court, they kind of got scared into re-implementing it. But damn, Nigeria. Hope y'all come through this in America and wherever you are, but especially America, because I'm in America. We can't let them do it. Get you some gold, get you some silver. That you've seen the stuff has gone up ever since I've been telling you to get it. Make sure you go to gold, get your gold and silver. Place I get mine is APMEX, APMEX, APMEX.com. They got the novelty coins. You know, I got to get my Star Wars coins. That's what I mess around with. I don't give a shit what y'all say. I love Star Wars, damn it. You understand? So, but they have a lot of different types of things you can get from there. Marvel coins and all kind of stuff that become collectibles. So increase with value. But make sure you do something in case they shut this whole thing down. And then as well, they tell you to get crypto, digital currency and stuff like that. Digital currency is cool when the system is working. But if you actually understand and you're living in the real world, digital currency is not real. It's not tangible. You can't touch it. It relies on the infrastructure to exist. An infrastructure that you didn't create and that you don't have any control over. And if they, excuse me, and if they want to shut this shit down, they want to shut it down with a flick of a button, they can. Or hit it with an EMP, all the stuff is done. All the electronics are done. And people be like, not me, because I have my stuff on an external, I'll have my crypto on an external wallet. And boo, nigga, that ain't gonna do nothing against an EMP. Do you understand? An EMP fries all electrical circuits. It doesn't matter if it's plugged in. If it's electrical, an EMP will fry the circuit, meaning it won't work anymore at all. Throw that shit in trash. It won't work. Cars won't work. It'll fry the battery in the cars. Nothing will work if an EMP hits. Do you understand that? So you can have your digital currency, while the system is running, that shit works. But if they want to shut the grid down and cut all the power off, or hit it with an EMP, like I said, you don't have no more money. So be balanced in your choices, or what they call diversify your portfolio. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then you can go to it whenever you need to. All right, so last couple things. Did you see the new Twitter, the new Twitter files? They came out. Man, let me tell you, whatever y'all think of this nigga Elon Musk, if he got some fuckery going on the back end, whatever, he may have that shit going on. But on this side, on this free speech, the Twitter side, he is killing them. He is not with the establishment. He is fucking them over all the time, every day. He keeps releasing new shit that keep tearing them up. New footage, hidden footage, secret documents and secret tweets and all that. He keep killing them. Then he gets on there and he shits on them in his tweets, which then, because he got 90, 100 million tweet followers, they jump on it and then they go and harass the goddamn people he tweet about. He killing these niggas, so much so that they denied this nigga's Neuralink. They said, nigga, fuck you and your Neuralink bullshit. We not putting that through. Because he talking crazy about the government. So they denied his Neuralink. They said, nigga, nah, fuck you and that Neuralink shit. You gonna talk shit about us and release all these Twitters and tweets, all that? Nigga, hell no. Hey, tell him no. Tell him I said no. If you want to know why he not getting his Neuralink pad, tell him I said no. That's what the head of the FDA was like, nigga, fuck Elon. So, but what just came out, this is why they saying fuck Elon. Because the new Twitter documents that just came out, they showed that the government, they told Twitter to suppress true adverse effect information regarding the cupcake. So misinformation, what could be deemed as misinformation, for sure, we stomping it out like a little fire. Stomping it out before it grows into an inferno. We're stomping it out. They not only did that, then they came back and they said, even if it's true, meaning if there are people sharing their stories about what happened to them after they took the cupcake, true stories that can be verified by doctors and their shit, they said, suppress that. Shadow ban that, take it down. True stories. Now, this is ridiculous. This is blatant fuckery now. Not just misinformation, the word true. You understand the fuckery in this? Ban not just fake stuff that you may believe are fake. But even if you know that shit is true, you know it's true, take it down. Which shows you the agenda they had. They was trying to take people out all day long. And the funny thing is, this information came out, y'all so desensitized to it, the public so desensitized to it, nobody even heard about it. The dude, the reporter, who he gave the Twitter files to, Matt Taibbi, he was just on Capitol Hill. He was just on Capitol Hill testifying about the Twitter files. They didn't do nothing but attack that nigga. They didn't ask him, about the violations of the government linking up with private corporations to violate the constitutional rights of citizens and all this and that. No, they weren't worried about that. Not the Democrats anyway, the Demorats, the Demo bitches. They weren't worried about it. All the Demo bitches did was
How dare you? This is wrong. You shouldn't be putting this information out. This is you're gonna cause a stir in society and blah blah blah. This is irresponsible of you to put this stuff out there, and you were cherry picking information. So now, watch out for this. Cherry picking. Cherry picking is their new term for fake news. Because when real information comes out that they can't refute, then they just say, well, you cherry pick that information from there to fit your own narrative. So they did this with the video that came out with Tucker Carlson. They said he cherry picked certain video to show that the guy was, well, wait a minute. If I'm cherry picking, of course I got to cherry pick. First of all, it's 40,000 hours of video footage. But what I cherry picked is this nigga being escorted through the Capitol building. So no matter if you call it cherry picking or not, you need to deal with the fact that this dude was being escorted in the Capitol building. Not to mention, they said another person was killed in the Capitol building because he was hit upside the head with a desk or some type of board or some shit. He was blunt. He was with a fire extinguisher or some shit. Didn't show any of that. This dude was not. He didn't show him getting killed at all in the Capitol building. He went home. He died of a stroke the next day out of excitement. This nigga died from a stroke. So, yeah, I got to cherry pick because I need to show the real shit of what went down, which you didn't show. So they call that cherry picking. And they said Matt Taibbi and them cherry picked from the Twitter files. Wait a minute, nigga. But so that's how you gonna deal with it. Instead of actually talking about the violations that y'all did, we just gonna talk about, you gonna talk about me. You gonna shit on me. Called this nigga Matt Taibbi a so-called journalist. A nigga who been a journalist for 30 years. Who's written 10 books, 4 of them New York Times bestsellers. And the woman sat up there and called him a goddamn so-called journalist. JR, appreciate you. He says, about to go run 2 miles and keep studying. That's right. Know Your Rights Foundation and health and financial literacy. That's right. Our top priority. That's what's up, baby. For sure. So that's what's going. that's what happened this week with the Twitter release. That they released that the fact that these niggas covered up true information that they knew was true. that's the other thing. They know it was real and said to suppress it, while they jumped on there and they jumped down these niggas' throats and tried to call them cherry pick or tried to call them irresponsible so-called journalists or whatever the fuck that is. But this shows you, y'all. This is the demo bitches. This is all a game. Even not even just the Democrat because the Republicans. They shitted on Tucker Carlson for releasing the footage. So this show you this one big giant plan. Because the Democrats and the Republicans jumped on Tucker Carlson for releasing that footage about homeboy strolling through the... Oh, hey, man. Oh, what's up, man? He just walking through there just chilling. Not being violent at all. Not even close to being violent. But we can't show that. We can't let you understand that. So, fuck them niggas. But go check the Twitter files out. Everything is coming out. They can't hide it, which is why they're starting to throw people under the bus. Fauci kind of being one of them right now. Fauci is they're removing the shield from around Fauci, y'all. And he deserved it, bitch ass nigga. He don't deserve no shield. He deserved to get his ass smacked up. But metaphorically, YouTube, don't be out there. He was inciting violence. Nigga, metaphorically, verbally, allegedly, whatever the hell you got to put on it. So, last thing I got to talk about. You saw your boy Chris Rock. Bitch Rock, what I like to call him. Excuse me. Bitch Rock. That nigga's a big ass bitch. He's a PAB. Punk ass bitch. Everybody, you know what that is. I'm gonna give me some shirts. No PABs. Because goddamn. And the reason there's a couple reasons, but first off, he was telling people to go get the cupcake. He was calling people stupid if you didn't do it, and he jumped on all these different radio stations. He went on a tour to tell people to take the cupcake. So how much money did that nigga get? Then when he was doing it, he was talking about, I got triple Boost Mobile. I've been out there, I would take 4 or 5 if I could. This is what he was saying on the Breakfast Club. Like, nigga, what are you doing? Telling people to do that when this is a brand new experimental shit no one knows anything about. But you talking about it like it's been around for 20 years. And he told people to go out and do that. So that's the main reason why I say fuck Chris Rock. That's the first. Fuck you, nigga, for doing that. How many people listened to you and then had a side effect? You'll never know. But because you'll never know, your conscience doesn't have to deal with it. But nigga, the energy is out there. You put that energy out into the universe, and that's why Will Smith smacked the living shit out of you in front of the world. Not to mention that you always shitting on melanated females in the public. Melanated people, period. You always shit on niggas. He shits on niggas all the time. Any chance he get, he'll shit on niggas. Not black people, niggas. I don't want to be around niggas. I'm around black people. All right, this is distinction, right? And I get it. I get what he mean, but he be shitting on niggas all the time. And then doing this to, to sister, whatever y'all think of Jada. And, in public, we got to stick together, goddammit. Shit. And you can't be shitting on the sisters like that. Especially a sister who is, is not out here. She's not out here doing some, some crazy shit that we know about, meaning evil, fucked up shit in the world. She, you don't, again, we don't know what they doing behind the scenes, but, in public, she's that she could be considered someone that other people can follow as far as their career and shit like that. They can look up to as far as that. But you in there tearing the shit, you tearing her ass down. Twice. He did it in the first the Oscars when Jada said we need to boycott the Oscars. She was trying to bring the melanated people together to boycott the Oscars because they didn't have no melanated people nominated that year. Chris Rock said, fuck you, I'm going on, I'm doing it. He was the host, and then he went on there and told the story, basically shitted on Jada, talking about how, fuck Jada. Well, he didn't say fuck Jada per se, but basically that's what he was saying. Dion Spivey, thank you, brother, appreciate you. But basically that's what he was saying. Then him and Will got some behind-the-scenes shit that they deal with. Then you go on stage again and do it again. You did the shit again. Eric Kirk, appreciate you. Oops, let me see. Eric Kirkwood, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. So he goes on there and does it again. To Jada, wasn't even doing anything. She was just sitting there, not minding her own business. Not doing anything to anybody. And you decide to pick on her for 1 billion people in the world. Again, for a second time. Like, oh, you did it the first time. Okay, jokes, whatever, jokey joke. But you did it, you took the same platform, which means it has the most amount of eyes watching you right now at the time, and you took that opportunity to shit on her. Excuse me. You took that opportunity to shit on her again. So when that karma comes back on you on stage and smacks the shit out of you, you can't be talking crazy, nigga. You put that energy out there into the world. So I don't feel sad about you. I don't feel sad about Will Smith smacking shit out of you. But then he talking about Will Smith wouldn't have done this to nobody else, and he did that to me because I'm a smaller dude and all this and that. Man, y'all don't understand, nigga. Will Smith is a Libra. That's an aggressive sign. A Libra will beat your ass. Shit. A Libra will beat your ass. They're aggressive. That's air sign. Air and fire is aggressive. And this nigga trains with Sugar Ray Leonard's trainer for 12, 13 years. He been boxing with a professional boxing trainer. He will sauce most of you niggas up on the on the street. Promise you that. You've been you've been training with anybody, any professional fighter for 12 years. You'll take out any nigga, regular nigga on the street. So he talking crazy. He just wanted him shitting on Will, talking about he a punk, he a bitch, and all this and that. All right, nigga, that's you trying to get back at him. But that special, again, I watched a piece of it. But nigga, you are a year late. You a year late, nigga. You trying to bring the shit. Don't come back a year later and start talking shit, nigga. If you want to, you want to let your nuts hang a year later. You could have said that shit back then. What happened that night? You could have said something. And the reason he said he didn't say something that night, was because his parents told him not to fight in front of white people. Parents told him not to fight in front of white people, or don't show out or act, whatever it is. But she didn't tell you not to shit on melanated women in front of white people. Yo, who is that? Stephen Williams. Thank you, brother. She didn't tell you that. She didn't tell you not to shit on melanated people as a whole, to use them as a stepping stone in front of white people to get favor with Caucasian people. She didn't tell you none of that. She just told you don't fight in front of them, huh? Oh, because that's going to mess up the perception that you created with the white people, right? By shitting on by shitting on the niggas. So you can't mess that. You can't mess your persona up. So don't go fighting in front of them and showing them that you one of them niggas that you shitting on. We can't show them that you one of them. So nigga, fuck Chris Rock. Fuck that nigga. Seriously, Will Smith should have slapped you twice, bitch. I'll tell you that right now. Shouldn't have been talking crazy twice. You had it coming, and the universe sent it right back at you. If you didn't have it coming, then it wouldn't have happened. That's karmic law number one. Whatever happens to you is something that you put out into the universe that came back to you. That is universal law. Cause and effect. So no matter, anybody keep trying to blame, he did nothing wrong and he was innocent and blah, 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 blah. No. No. You put some shit out there into the universe, and the universe boomerang that shit right back into your motherfucking ass. That's what happened, nigga. So no remorse for your bitch ass, nigga. So that's all I got, man. Make sure y'all get over there, because these popo, they're not gonna stop with the popo on us. Make sure y'all get out there, please, and get out there and hook up the Know Your Rights Foundation. If you want these individually, Know Your Rights Foundation. If you want the package, make sure you go to realnuggets.com and get the melanated book. So right here, this is the constitutional rights card. Let you know everything let the police officers know all your rights at a police stop and what will happen if they violate those constitutional rights. That qualified immunity card. Right here, did y'all see that? Did you see the police officers? Did you see the police officers who walked up on the old ladies, the ladies and her daughter? Excuse me, last name first. Thank you, brother. Did y'all see the police officers who walked up and the ladies were just sitting in their car talking after lunch, and they walked up on them, and the police officer pulled them out of the car and said, "Oh, we even had a rash of car thefts around here," and jacked the ladies out of the car. Had no reasonable suspicion that they committed any crime, just that these ladies were sitting in the car. That's it. And walked up, and this older lady jacked her out of the car and was hemming her up and all this and that. And did you see what happened? Do you see what they got? Did you see what they got? I'm telling you, you can beat these police officers if you fight back. They got $8.5 million. You can win. I'm trying to tell y'all. Qualified immunity card right here. So they lost their qualified immunity. Basically is what happened. So qualified immunity is to protect them from lawsuits when they violate your constitutional rights, but they did it in a way that they didn't know. So if you tell them that they're in danger of violating your constitutional rights and you get it on camera, then when they do it, they lose that qualified immunity. These ladies didn't even tell them that. They did ask them, what crime have we committed? They see, you have to have the lingo. What crime did we commit? You have to understand when you have to commit a crime for them to even talk to you. Well, to detain you. because they can talk to you if they want. It's called consensual contact. So they can do that. They can talk to you as long as you consent to it. You can say, I don't want to talk to you right now, and then leave. But in order for them to detain you, they need to suspect you of a crime. They didn't have any of that with those ladies. Lady and her daughters, they got $8.5 million. Damn it. Shout out to, who was it? So it was somebody on the jury. In the jury, basically the jury came within like 2 days, or not even 2. Was it 2 days? Like 16 hours, I think, or some shit like that. It was real fast. It was real fast that the jury came to the deliberation, or to the conclusion. But right here, this is the qualified immunity notice that goes along with this. So you keep these 3 in your car, and you say, I don't answer questions. And I'm telling you, people are handing these over right now, and the popo are just skeeting off like, all right, brother, I'm sorry, bro. Hey, y'all have a nice day. So right here, you keep this in your car. I don't answer questions, and boom, you got them. Yeah. Right here, lets the police officers know, let you know everything you need to know at traffic stops and police stops, or Terry stops, which are police stops on foot, so that you're prepared when you meet up with the police officers. You're not scared. You know what to say. You got the lingo down, you got the language down, because when it happens, you know, that fear is going to jump into your body. You're going to get scared. The heart is going to start pumping out and all that type of stuff. So that's going to take practice. You're going to have to practice asserting your rights. But you get used to it by reading this book, going over it over and over again, and then committing that to your memory, and then you got it. Oops. And right here, public official bonds book, right here, lets them know, or that you know, where to go find those bonds when they violate your constitutional rights. So this is the different laws in the different states that show you where to go find the bonds. Right here. So we got all the states. I forgot. I got all the states except, sorry y'all, Illinois. I didn't find Illinois at first when I made this, so Illinois is not in here. But if you hit me up, I do have the bond law for Illinois. So, but right here, public official bonds book, make them pay when they violate your constitutional rights. Just so you know, a lawsuit takes about 2 years. As you can see, that happened to those ladies. Hold on. Sorry. That happened to those ladies about in 2019. So it took them about 3 years in order to get paid. But if you go file a claim on their bond, you get paid immediately. When you place lien on the bond, you get $75,000 or whatever the bond is worth. You get it immediately. No waiting 2 years, and the police officer can't work until the bond is satisfied, right? So boom, that's the way you get at them right there. And then go pick up the flashcards. You already know the tools we got right here. Flashcard, law and government flashcards 1 and 2. Police stop flashcards 1 and 2. You got to know the system in order to change the system. That's just the way it is, or to take the system over. Whatever you want to do within the system, you can't do anything unless you know how it works, right? You got to know the pavement in order to pound the pavement. And then also, we got the crack scene exemption cards, because they're not letting go of the Pandeezy or or this cupcake one world order. So make sure you're armored with the law. This one is the liability notice, lets them know that they're liable for every second the cupcake stays in your blood system, your bloodstream. So if you have to have it in your bloodstream 24 hours a day, they're responsible to pay you for every second that it's in your bloodstream. Also, it has the adverse effects listed by the CDC on their website right here. This is the religious exemption one. This lets them know that there's fetal Charmin in the cupcakes, and you're against that, your religious beliefs. You're against abortion, and so it uses aborted fetal Charmin in the cupcake, and you're against that. So this is your religious exemption. You can put that. You can use this, and then this works as well. There was a university that had to award $10 million to their workers because they denied them their religious exemption. So right here, and the denial of the religious exemption was because it had aborted Charmin, fetal Charmin, in the cupcake. And so they were able to bring that out, and then they won. So right here. And then it comes with the report. You know, this is the letter in big form so that you can Sign this on the back if you're going to hand this to your employer. And then right here, this is the Pfizer or the P.F. Heiser Bakery report that shows the clinical report that shows 1,223 people kicked the bucket in the first 4 days of clinical trials. So they try to say, oh, no, nothing happened. It's all fine. 95 people is 95% effective. No, not according to your paper. Not according to your research right here. And then again, in the back, it has at least 150 adverse effects per page. So, and there's 3 pages of this that comes with it. So make sure this will come with the whole thing. If you want that, make sure you have to, if you want the notices, you have to go to knowyourrightsfoundation.org. They're exclusively on there. But if you want the Police Stop Law package, then just go realnoggins.com. Make sure you order the Great Book of Melanin Research. It's the research they've been doing on your melanin for 118 years now. Now, I've told you this before. If you guys want to look up what your melanin, again, it's $511 an ounce on the stock market. But if you want to see how the market value, excuse me, or how they sell it on the market, go type in CAS. This is important. Go type in CAS 8049-97-6. Very important. Again, CAS 8049-97-6. That's the chemical identifier for melanin on the market. They don't call it melanin because if they was talking about they was selling melanin on the market, nigga, they would spark all niggas all over the world. If they say, yeah, we're selling melanin, so they can't say they're selling melanin. They have to call it some type of chemical, give it a chemical identifier universally for all laboratories around the world in case they want to buy it and research it and do some research with it. So then they just go in and they say, yo, give me, 3-4 ounces of CAS 8049-97-6. So when you punch it up, it's going to come up as melanin. Anybody can buy it. I was going to buy some, but I didn't want to have to go through filling out the whole thing. You got to fill out this whole on the website or the paperwork and all that. I didn't want to fill all that shit out. And plus it was $518 for a little vial they were selling. So I was like, fuck, I'm keeping $518 in my pocket, but I could have bought it. So anybody can buy it. So it's worth that. Just so you need to know why it's worth that right here. And this is your melanin. This is let you know how powerful your melanin is, how to keep it hydrated so that you keep it powerful. All that different stuff that all of the sciences that left us that we don't know about, but again, they've been uncovering and discovering with us for 118 years. So you want to get back on the melanin game right here, Melanin, Great Book of Melanin Research. Order the hard copy, and you get $200 value. You get the $200 value Police Stop Law package. All right, and it comes with the Police Stop Law cards. All right, that's all I got today. Thank you everybody for coming for joining me today on Saturn's Day. I appreciate y'all, all my moderators, Tish, Miss Jeannie, Gwendolyn Bonner, Mel, Brian, Jason. Appreciate y'all, and all the people who hit the super chat. Thank y'all, man. I'm gonna see if I missed anybody on the super chat. No. Thank y'all, man. Thank everybody for hitting the super chat. Y'all know I love y'all, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all next week. I'm about to go get me a turkey burger because it's raining. And I'm about to watch me some Star Wars and eat a turkey burger. My heaven. Holla at y'all later. Peace.